Good evening. It's me, the Drizzle, and that's my tank. And I'm here to talk to you about epilepsy. Can you believe it? This week, going to discuss, different support programs. You know, help people find some good jumping off points. Different programs. Explain about one of the ones that I'm currently involved in. Also take a journey into different steps and caveats of owning a service animal and how it is getting one and whatnot. So, but before we get started, as always, I'd like to kind of just give the rundown on what the game plan is here. So, epilepsy is a terrible silent disease. Many of us have it. You are not alone. Tell me your story. Tell us all. Enjoy some conversation, some tunes, some optimism. But remember, I am not a doctor, a nurse, a psychologist, a therapist. I probably can't take your blood pressure properly. Why? Because I'm not trained to. In order to come speak, have somebody there with you in case there's an emergency, just so we don't have to worry. It's already traumatizing enough. So it's if we know that if somebody's there to help you, if there is an emergency during the feed, then that'd make everybody feel better. Or we can always have a brief video chat before the show to confirm certain specifics. I know a lot of people have their epilepsy under control. They haven't had seizures in years, and I also want to hear those stories because those are the successes. And if we can hear about that, it gives people hope that maybe they'll find a solution. So if you would like to come on and and you find you're not up for the video, come on and come on to the chat. It's a Sunday evening, probably not doing anything anyway. So just come in and get in the chat, ask your questions in the chat. I'm sure somebody will mention what the question is to me, and I can see what I can do to answer it as best I can. Help point you in a good direction if possible, and go from there. If Sunday's not a good day for you, sometimes people's schedules have a conflict, and if there's a time during the week that you want to just come and get a hold of me, I'm easily able to be reached. My email is in the description for the show. Feel free to email me any of your questions, anything you want, really. I'll talk to you if you need to. You need somebody to talk to, hey, you hit me up. If there is an emergency, there is a delay. We'll more than likely stop the feed before anybody can see anything, just to avoid traumatizing people. If you try anything crazy, we'll end the feed before anyone's wiser. There is a delay, so no one will see anything crazy. So please don't waste your time or your life. But with that, let me get here. So realistically, there's a lot of programs. Even though epilepsy is still kind of one of those in the dark kind of diseases, it's starting to break through. We just recognized a post from the elementary school that our children go to that they have something out front about epilepsy awareness with a QR code and everything on it. So I was pretty happy to see that. I mean, anytime we can get information out to people and make it easy to get to, that's as easy as pulling out your camera phone these days. Just pull out your camera phone from your car even and probably pick that up, zoom it in and probably get it right off the sign. So, I mean, it's starting to become more available. And I don't want people to think that just because they're struggling finding help, that help isn't there. Because sometimes the people that you converse with, the people that you're working along with, your current epilepsy team is not familiar with a lot of these programs. I know the people that I've worked with for years have had, they have the best intentions. They're not trying to sabotage me for any means. They're trying to help me, but they're ignorant to these things as much as I am. And ignorance is not something to blame somebody for. That's not It doesn't mean you're dumb. It just means you just haven't learned something yet. And sometimes these people are busy, so you gotta give them the benefit of the doubt. And so we looked into it this week to determine, what kind of programs are really out there. Who's out there? Who can really give us a, a, a step in the right direction, a step towards some leeway in life. I mean, this stuff it's daunting. It's daunting to deal with this on a regular basis, especially if your seizures or epilepsy are not under control. So, I mean, knowing that there are groups and programs and different organizations that are out there that are truly trying to help, to truly help. So first, we've got a site here. It's the CDC website there. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Thank you. Magnificent. All right. So this site here, I mean, really, as much as I'm not a huge fan of government-related organizations, the CDC, you have to give them the credit due for what they are. I mean, they are exactly what they propose to be. As far as I can see. So when they make statements like the ones found on this page here, these are good sites linked to good caring people, and you can see that these people, don't base it off the imagery, but the fact that I'm going to read this directly just because it's not very much information, very short page, and I just, in case anybody has trouble, I know sometimes tough to read at the same pace as I'm scrolling around the pages and stuff. So epilepsy can be hard to manage and may interfere with daily life. Use the free resources below to help you or someone you love manage living with epilepsy. Call the 24/7 helpline when you have questions. We'll go back to that here. Just recognize these are just three very simple things. These are not get help paying for medicine, find mental health resources and tools, and a 24/7 helpline. Now, this helpline that they advertise on here is it's the Epilepsy Foundation. You're not. They have trained information specialists standing by to answer your questions about epilepsy and seizures, provide you with help, hope, support, guidance, and access to national and local resources. They have an online help form. There's a phone number, 1-800-332-1000. I'll copy these phone numbers and stuff right here. I believe, let me make sure I've got this here. So let me make sure I've got that. I'll grab the link for their actual helpline as well. I'll put this right here in the private chat. Then we can put that up on the screen and in the chat. I'll post it over here as well. If I can figure out how to get into the chat. There we are. Ah, yes. Much faster than me. All right, there we go. Okay. So, let me get back here real quick. Now, they say that they'll help people with epilepsy, the caregivers and friends of someone with epilepsy, and anyone who simply wants to learn more about epilepsy. And there's plenty of us out there. There's plenty of us. They have a learning portal, free on-demand training about seizures and epilepsy. They can help you learn how to respond. They say their trainings are designed for people living with epilepsy, caregivers, nurses, or other healthcare providers, as well as the general public. So they're not just trying to limit it to just somebody who's having seizures. It's the family, the people around you. And if you're going to get support from anybody, it's going to be the people around you that love you and care about you the most. So, I mean, if you truly care about the people around you and stuff, this is a great start. I mean, a simple phone call. I mean, sometimes I just like getting on the phone call and chit chatting. I'll end up talking on the phone for 20 minutes with people in customer service just because I end up hitting it off or something. You know, I tend to be a yacker. So, uh, don't limit yourself to believing that the support is only for the epileptics, and believe that if you can, it's not hard to be a support to somebody who has epilepsy. It just takes being there sometimes, just having an open ear, and you know, not even having to respond. You don't have to have a great answer for it sometimes. I know in my experience, it's like sometimes I just need to vent. I just need to let some stuff out, and being that person can be a great help to some people. You know, just to let them talk about the experience that they're having, but not only listen to them then, but then be able to understand a bit. You know, you'll never be able to empathize, but at least you'll understand a bit about what somebody's going through. Um, they say some of their topics are current epilepsy treatment and alternative therapies, medication questions, support groups, seizure first aid and safety devices, employment and discrimination, emotional support, Epilepsy Foundation local offices, and SUDEP, sudden unexpected death in epilepsy. Just a topic that we have covered here back on week 5. It was it's a tough topic, but it's a very important topic. They do have links to different places outside the United States, the International Bureau for Epilepsy chapters, International League Against Epilepsy, and the Canadian Epilepsy Alliance. So there's a lot of resources just in that one phone call. That one phone call can bring you so much. And why not? Why not? I mean, we're on our phones all day anyway. Everybody's looking down at their phone. People can't even drive without putting their phone down long enough to drive safely. So, I mean, I'm sure you can find some time to make a phone call if you're feeling bad, or if you want to learn more to help somebody you know that's feeling bad. Next, the mental health resources and tools. There's people, you know, we're seeking help. There's always 911. Everybody knows about 911. There's the lifeline chats, the suicide crisis hotline chats. Don't wait. Don't wait. If you're feeling like you're that far along, don't wait. They even made the number shorter. It's now 988. You don't even have to call that long number anymore. You still can. You still can. And if you're a veteran, hit option 1. It's directly for veterans, brings you right to, especially for veterans. And you know what? You fought for our country, whether you agree with everything in our country or not. It's a noble choice, and I believe that we should take care of our veterans. So, you know, if you are in distress, call, hit that option. But also keep in mind, the CDC doesn't cover just epilepsy. So I mean, if you've got other problems, abuse, assault, violence, they've got contacts here on this page, on this link that's right there on that CDC page. Links for National Domestic Violence Hotline, the National Child Abuse Hotline, National Sexual Assault Hotlines, the LGBTQ, the Trans Lifeline, the Trevor Projects, Trevor Lifeline. I'm not exactly familiar with those, but you know, they're there, available on. I hope they're good organizations. Older adults, the Elder Care Locator, Alzheimer's Association. They got the Veterans Active Duty and Military Veterans Crisis Line. Don't 988 and select 1, or the crisis chat, or you can always just text 838-255. If you were in the military, take advantage of anything that these people will offer you, because you deserve it. So if they've got a program that's out there, take the time. Take the time. Finding treatment. findtreatment.gov, American Psychiatric Association, American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, American Psychological Association. They, all these are available on there. They're all excellent sources. Besides a few that I'm not familiar with, I can openly read those and say, okay, I'm familiar with these people, and I say, if you're in these situations and you need help, it's as easy as a phone call. And these days, it's as easy as a text. A lot of these places, as odd as it seems, to have an app about depression, why not? I mean, if it's available, why wait? Why not take advantage? You got video games on everything. I'm sure everybody does. You got different animal games and farming games and money games and all this stuff. Well, this is just some more stuff, but this will help. Then we have the patient assistance. And what is the patient assistance program? Go ahead and follow that follow to the epilepsy link there, the patient assistance one. Make sure I got the right one here. I need to move that way or something. There we go. Here, let's do it. There. Making myself sideways. Sitting sideways. Well, what is the patient assistance program? It's a special service offered by all major drug companies if you can't afford your medications. Drug manufacturers may offer benefits like prescription medicine free of charge or at low cost. Hear that? Free of, sometimes they provide them free of charge or at low cost. Medicine sent to your home, your doctor's office, or your pharmacy. Instead of having to you can get more convenient ways for you. Refills for up to a year before reapplying. Like if they know you're going to be on something and you have trouble getting to the pharmacy, why make it a monthly thing where you have to now either find somebody to go track down your medicine, or you got to find somebody to bring you to get your medicine, and that's not always easy for everybody. And so they have programs for helping you keep your refill going much longer. But if you are going to take advantage of those opportunities, don't take that as don't go see your doctor in the meantime. Make sure you're staying up to date and checking in with your epilepsy care team, especially. How do you know if you're eligible? The Epilepsy Foundation says each drug company has its own eligibility requirements. In most cases, you can get help from a patient assistance program if you are a resident or citizen. Give it to everybody. You do not have prescription drug insurance that covers your medicine. You meet the income limit set by the drug company for your medicine. So they have programs that'll help anybody, but there's a lot of programs that'll help you if you're really struggling. And I've been there. I am there. I struggle every day. So I know what it feels like. So saving even a couple of bucks on the medications that I'm going to have to pick up anyway is, I mean, you add that up over a year. And you think about any person over time that's ever talked to you about money. They say, oh, you put $10 in an account today, and in 50 years it'll have compounded into you'll be rich, all these silly theories. But you do, if you put money in and those interest accruing, then you'll eventually, that money adds up, and that money can mean food, that money can mean
especially if they don't have insurance.
Yeah, especially if you don't have insurance. It can mean toiletries. It could mean making sure your animal eats that week as well, not just your scraps. And I've heard the stories. I promise you, they're devastating. And when you point people in directions of stuff like this, like, hey, you might be able to save it might be like $12, maybe it's $18. But if they're already spending like 60 on a medicine and now it's only like 42. $18 buys quite a bit of food. I mean, honestly, you shop accordingly, and you can feed yourself on that. And so that's get you a few days at least. And that matters. That matters. It matters big time. So there's a lot of assistance programs. Needymeds.org. You can see if your income meets a specific drug company's income requirements for patient assistance. Let me see here. Open this. Don't you mess with me. There we go. Just needed 18 clicks.
At least your computer's on today.
Yeah, at least my computer didn't take an hour to turn on. So when you go into these places, they just look like your normal discount card sites. I mean, they're literally just places where they say, here, do you need help? Put in your information. Determine, do you need help? And if you do, they'll help you. I mean, even if it's a no, you're no further behind other than the little bit of time you spent applying to these types of places. Oh, somebody going crazy back there. It doesn't take a lot of time. So, I mean, the little bit of time that you do, if they say no, you're no further off than you were. So take the opportunities to check into these things. The next one we have here is the medicine assistance tool. Let me see here. Basically, you're worried about affording medicine. Matt is here, the medical assistance tool.org. So, I mean, this isn't a .com, this is a .org, and you have to meet certain requirements to even put that after your name. So, I mean, that's it creates validity on its own. I mean, it's not always true that these .org sites are fantastic sites, but they my son's popping in. They do have a good solid ground of a good reputation. Yeah. They say here on there is that you have enough to worry about right now. Figuring out how to pay for your prescription shouldn't be another stressor. For decades, pharma has been committed to advocating for, it's PHRMA has been committed to advocating for policies that help patients access the medicines they need. But today, America's biopharmaceutical companies are individually expanding their programs to help more patients during these uncertain times. Matt, the medicine assistance tool, matches patients like you with resources and cost-sharing programs that may help lower your out-of-pocket costs, whether or not you have insurance. PHRMA's, pharma's medicine assistance tool is a search engine designed to help patients, caregivers, healthcare providers learn more about resources available through the various biopharmaceutical industry programs. MAT is not its own patient assistance program, but rather a search engine for many of the patient assistance resources that the biopharmaceutical industry offers. So they provide the tool to help you. It's the stepping stone. They're the stepping stone. So if you're going to follow yourself anywhere, this is a good place to start. The medicine assistance tool is not a dupe organization. So find your way there, click on and find the information that you need. Let me see here. The next one we have here was the RX Assistant or RX Assist Patient Assist programs. And basically, I'm just going to tell you about all the ones that we found that seemed legit as well. We're confident we came across a lot, and they didn't all seem legit. Some of these sites we'd open up, be like, "Yep, I'm not giving you my information." There's not a chance. There's not a.
Be weary about where
yeah. Don't these days you always got to be worried. So this is another .org, rxassist.org. It's the RX Assist Patient Assistance Program Center. This is not some mom pop shop in in a small city or something. This is a big organization, and they do provide exactly what it is that they claim. The web's most current and comprehensive directory of patient assistance programs. You get on here, they have stuff. Offers comprehensive database of patient assistance programs, as well as practical tools, news, and articles, so that healthcare professionals and patients can find the information they need all in one place. And it really is. It's another great one. And they all claim to have the links to everything. You find all the good stuff at our site, and never limit yourself to the one. If you found one and it has a lot of great information, there's probably another one out there that has a bunch of other great information. So never limit yourself to one source, or like one of these groups, because they all might have the best intentions, but like I said, the ignorance is not a sign of stupidity. It's just the fact that some people don't know about other things. So maybe this organization just doesn't know about this other organization yet. So don't limit yourself. Make sure you're checking in at all these. One that stands out, the veterans benefits stuff. I'm wondering if I had gotten an email yet, but I don't think I did.
No, your mom said her computer's not working.
Oh, so we tried to convince a VA employee to send me some information.
Send it to me now.
Oh, she's gonna send it now. Okay, so well then I'll cover these next two things, and maybe I can get this pulled up in the meantime. So the let's see, I'll pop you down. The prescription alert, prescription cost assistance programs, they're very common, and I'm sure as much as let's see here. So it opened up. Let me see. Being weird. Don't be weird. Okay. So there we are. The family wise is, I mean, literally just go in, type in what you're taking, and they'll tell you is there a coupon available? Are they doing any offers from the provider, from the anybody that might God. I looked at the medicines and I'm like, man, none of the ones I would ever take. But at the same time,
a lot of people take Tamiflu.
Yeah, a lot of Tamiflu, Adderall. I was on Ritalin forever, so I'm good on the Adderall myself. But if you have to take it anyway, and there's definitely I should probably be taking something for erectile dysfunction. It's I always see the TV ads for it, and all. I'm always like, this is a weird one to be on TV. Seems like but I guess when you need to hit the target market, you find where they go. But this is just a nice, easy site to get along on. It's nothing fancy. It's just really just type in your drug and they'll tell you like, hey, here's a coupon. Oh, they're doing a thing right now. They changed it this slight bit and they believe that this is going to make it a little bit different. So we want you to try the new version of it or something like that. There's all kinds of reasons that they do it, but there's reasons, and why not take advantage of it? If you're going to have to pay for this stuff anyway, whether you have insurance or not, check in, see, because as silly as something like this sounds, we are all familiar. If you have to go to CVS or Walgreens or any of these places, you are familiar with GoodRx. Those little yellow and white cards that sit there on the counter at like almost every pharmacy I think I've ever been in. They are GoodRx is like the one that you can't get by it. Every time you walk into the pharmacy, you will see it, and they too have a just type in the drug you take, and they'll tell you. It's accepted at over 70,000 U.S. pharmacies and locations. So Walgreens, CVS, Walmart, Heritage, Costco, Publix, all of these, if you go to their pharmacies, that's all you have to do. Just go to their pharmacies and show them that card. You don't even have to give them information. They're like, literally, they've like taken, they like, do you have one of the good RX cards? I'm like, no, I don't. Here, let me grab one. And they'll just grab one off the counter and save me money. And they're just coupons. They'll send you coupons. I mean, there's plenty of people out there that really know how to coupon. And if you're already at home and having troubles paying for things anyway, I mean, there's a lot of people that they make money. They save a lot of money. Like people do a lot with these coupons these days. So there's just another one to add into the basket. And if you're having troubles paying for your medications, which a lot of people do. I mean, right now I'm glad I'm not taking anything besides the CBD and my emergency meds, because honestly, I couldn't afford it. I haven't worked in months. I've been stuck at home. Just can't really go anywhere without my wife. I'm not really allowed to be alone. I can't drive and kind of just stuck. I'm just kind of stuck and just in a limbo. So as soon as I get back into things, it'll be fine again. But in the meantime, if I had to take medicine, these would be the places I'd be, because I'm not one to hesitate on finding a deal. I'm the guy who goes around and buys and sells on online marketplaces and buys all the weird stuff from people and just finds. I tend to find all the stuff that I really need when I need it. And if you're sick and you're having trouble affording your medicine, you need this. You need it. Not kind of, not sort of, but you need it. Has it been sent over now?
I figured that we could do it after the break because your mom was, or I don't know, just mute yourself real quick.
Give me 1 second here. Hold on. Well, that's
That is like fictitious.
yeah, that's much better than what was going to happen anyway. So I was going to cover the veterans benefits stuff right now, and realistically, is you got to be aware of what you're allowed to talk about, I guess, when it comes to this kind of stuff. So we're going to cut to a break, and I'm going to have a guest come on after the break to basically to talk about just some more support stuff, just a few things. She's a doctor of psychology, been doing this for many years, so I mean she'll be a good source. So let me see here. What'll be a good song to play? I was gonna pick it here in a minute, but we'll just scoot ahead along real quick. And I can't remember. Oh, okay, yeah.
Do you want a live song?
Yeah, Steve ready?
Sure. Yeah, he can.
Heck yeah! Then let's do that. Way better. That's way better.
Right.
Yeah, then we can cut back whenever. Yeah, that'll be great.
Thank you, Lucky. And Steve.
I got you.
Heck yeah. Well, then I am going to turn off my camera for a minute, discuss what we're about to go through, and then after Steve plays you something beautiful, I'm sure we will return and continue on with our discussion for the night. Yeah, I'll talk to you. Is he set up now, or does he need a couple minutes? Or
I'm right here.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, then I will hide my ugly face.
All right, and I'll show my scary face. Hello, people of Drew's show.
Take him down while he's doing that.
Take what down? Take him down. Okay.
Sorry, I'm producing over here.
Okay,
I'm
can hear you.
backseat producing.
The other mic wasn't on, so now you can talk.
I'm backseat producing over here. It's okay.
All right. Hopefully the levels are groovy, And
Oh, do you want me to turn it up over here?
no, I think we're good. Angela Sangster. Me, I'm a part of your circle of friends, and we notice you don't come around. And me, I think it all depends on you touching ground with us. But I quit, I give up. Nothing's good enough for anybody else, it seems. And I quit, I give up. Nothing's good enough for anybody else, it seems. And being alone is the best way to be. When I'm by myself, it's the best way to be. When I'm all alone, it's the best way to be. When I'm by myself, nobody else can say goodbye. goodbye. Everything is temporary anyway. When the streets are wet, the colors slip into the sky. Why? I don't know why. That means you and I are. That means you and I are. I quit. I give up. Nothing's good enough for anybody else, it seems. And I quit. I give up. Nothing's good enough for anybody else, it seems. And being alone is the best way to be. When I'm by myself, it's the best way to be. When I'm all alone, nobody else can say goodbye. Ah, la 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 la. Me, I'm a part of your circle of friends, and we notice you don't come around. All right. Are we gonna flip this over now? Let's flip it over. I think it's time. You do the thing. Yeah. Let's see. Stay.
Why am I here?
Because you're the one driving. Who else is driving this bus?
All right. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you so much. I don't sure if you heard me. I wasn't sure if it could hear me while I was off screen, but yeah, thank you so much, dude. That was beautiful. That was very good.
Edie Brickell.
That's you know me. I'm a fan. I would be lying to say I'm not. We heard me belt it out last night. Oh yeah. So the Veterans Benefit Association administration has been honestly they're one of the more I guess when it comes down to it, they really cover everything. Like when you're trying to get specific information and see if it's going, these are the people you contact. This is who you make an account with. And realistically, the webpage itself is quite a bit above my where I'm at, because there's a lot, but they do in fact have a lot of different benefits and such that are available to veterans that are not available to everybody else. And if you are a veteran and you're having issues with epilepsy or seizures or anything at all, I mean, it'd be crazy to not take the time and find out what's available to you. As I'm sitting here, they're popping things up about housing, students, helping people get into school. Over here, they have help with home loans, life insurance, education, veteran readiness and employment, compensation, a lot of different groups and such services that they and the services are there's a lot. When I started to go through and I'm looking at there's one like 10 or so different examples that they got here, but then once you start digging into these, they are deep, and they go deep. So if you're planning on using the VA page, it seems like it's very in depth. It's very in depth.
Go to the top. There's a part that says find a location. That's where everybody should start.
Okay, so yeah, that's fine. If can she just type?
I'm just saying, go to va.gov. Once you get to the screen, choose find a location.
Okay, so I'm being, I guess, essentially spoken through what we're trying to cover here. So it said to first start at find a location. So you go in, type in your
address,
your city, state, or postal code. Choose a facility type. They have VA, urgent cares, emergency care, community providers, community pharmacies, the VA benefits, the cemeteries, and the vet centers. So realistically, you go in here. Those are the two that are required. I'm not a veteran myself, but let's see what happens when I type in.
So go to I think VA Health is the correct option.
VA Health, yeah, or I want to look into the benefits, and it says all benefits. Well, I'm looking for a specific one, we'll say. So all VA applying for benefits, burial, disability claims, benefits, education claims, family member claims, help for homelessness, home loan help, insurance claims, integrated disability evaluation. I mean, it seems like I feel like there should be more in there, but there's one that I'm looking for though. Let's see. So applying for benefits at the VA. Oh, yeah, I should probably put in the. Put me in the right state at least.
Right.
So even here, immediately, it shows me that within 50 miles of me, so there's nothing right here in town, is what it looks like. It looks like the ones available. Yeah, you would think Wilmington, as big as it is, would have some sort of VA down here, but they have the Veteran Readiness and Employment Office for the Marines at Camp Lejeune, and let's see, the pre-discharge site at Camp Lejeune. So it just it says there's limited services now or stuff. So,
your mom said she said she's here waiting.
is she in the thing then?
I think so.
No. Hey, Lucky, is the
Person.
other person that was going to come in, are they available to pull up at this point?
Yep. Whenever you're ready, just let me know.
Yeah, go right ahead. Go ahead and bring them up.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, good evening.
Hello.
It's lemon tree.
It's the lemon. So,
Okay, so
nice and centered.
Okay, so I can't really see your screen. I was trying to see if I could get on to my.
So what you're going to want to do is open a tab that has this on it, the VA benefits or whatever.
I have it open on my computer, but I don't know.
Yeah.
How
So
to
now
bring
go
it
down
here.
to the bottom of the StreamYard link where it says present,
Okay.
and it'll say share screen.
It says mic, cam, chat, leave. Let me see if this gives me a setting. No.
It
Whoops.
should say present with a plus sign. Yeah, it's not showing that.
Nope. I don't have that.
Huh.
Maybe it's 'cause she's
I have a mic. I have a
At the
cam.
bottom, is there it looks like a little, it should be like a TV screen type or a computer screen. It says present under it with a plus sign. Do you have that on the bottom?
I have mic, cam, chat, more, or leave.
Probably more. It's probably in the more thing.
No, that says comment, setting, cancel. Let me see.
Oh, that's
here.
weird.
I wonder if you have to send her the link, because I just sent her the one that was my link.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
Steve
so that's what
saying,
it was. So that's what it's gonna have to be. So as I apologize for the technical difficulties, we're none of us are computer people. So
The invite link. That's what you want me to send.
yeah, send her an invite link. Is there a way to put it in the private chat so she can
Yep.
just click on it? Perfect. All right, so
Let's
go ahead
see
and click
here.
on that one,
Okay.
and you'll end up getting out of the one that you're in.
Okay. So let me get out of this one first.
Make
Copy.
sure you.
No,
No,
she needs to
hopefully she
copy
copied
it.
and pasted it. If not, I can send it at least.
Okay.
What a goofball. But
We're doing it live.
that's how she go.
show must go on.
That's it.
It's how it works. You know,
That's how
like
it go. It goes like this sometimes. It's all right. No, that's just because the importance of what she's going to be able to explain as opposed to what I can is going to be exponentially different. Like as you can see, I was fumbling over just all the other stuff I'm very familiar with, but the VA stuff I'm not a veteran, and so I was like, man, I really would love to have somebody that at least knows about the benefits site come and tell me about it. And I'm like, well, see if this person's available. And he said, we'll see what we can come to and see if the timing will match up, and lucked out.
that's great. Absolutely great.
So the few
was
guests
she
that
able to grab the link? Do you think? Is she able to grab it?
Did you not send it yet?
Well, Drew has in the private chat.
make sure that,
She
Or they
said she
can't
can't find a link. How about I just put it
yeah,
in the YouTube
I'll send
chat?
it to her via email real quick,
Okay.
because I have that one.
How is everybody doing tonight?
Yeah, for real. I see
Everybody,
some
please hit
familiar
that like
faces.
and share it out there to any of your social medias. It really helps.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, don't forget to like, please.
Yeah, they definitely don't like showing it, so I'm very glad that it's definitely been picking up, and people are participating. I've gotten some feedback from people after the show a few times now, where people are coming and saying, "Man, I'm very, very, very happy and impressed by what I'm seeing." People are like, "Man, it's excellent information. Like, thank you so much for putting yourself out there." Like, so I mean,
That's awesome.
I'm glad to know that. I mean, if I help one person each week, that's fine. That's fine. If that would be just as good as me meeting somebody standing next to me and saying, "Man, I'm really struggling," and I say, "Whoa, hey, guess what? I happen to have some information that would help you if you're interested in hearing about it." So if people are interested in hearing about this stuff, I'm just trying to provide good information, and so this has been a great thing to be able to truly it helps people open up when they see that I'm doing this, and they say, "Oh, he truly understands. He's not just sympathizing, he's empathizing. You know, he's been there, done that." So it's not a matter of, "Oh, this guy, he has epilepsy." No, it's easy to recognize. I'm not fudging it. I'm not overselling it. This is my life. It's my life, and there's other people that struggle just as bad and a lot worse. So I mean, realistically, I'm very glad that we've had this opportunity to put this information out there, and it's really been beneficial to me to have that feedback, to have people say, "Man, I'm glad that this stuff is out there." You know, like, oh, good, because I hope, you know, even if nobody watches it today, maybe they find it 5 years from now. That's fine. That's fine. If I can help anybody at any time, that's all I can ask for. So
Your guest is back.
fantastic. All right. We'll go ahead and pull her up, and hopefully this works this time. I guess I got to make sure I follow all the rules when I send links out. Now, this time, do you have a way to present?
Let's see here. Can you see me? Oh yeah,
I sure
can
can.
see me. Yeah, I
Yep.
can see me. Ugh. No, I still don't see that.
I don't understand. I really don't understand. Because it has there's only a couple options.
Looks like it worked.
It's not giving it to me. You're in the show.
Mute, stop cam, settings, present, and leave studio are the only options I have, and that's what comes up on every one of my things. So I'm really confused on what it could possibly be at this point.
I don't know.
All right. Well, how about this?
Is it a link that you need to share? That
I wanted the camera to be up, and now I can't even get my computers like messed up too. I wanted to do it on my regular computer so I could see it, but that's not.
I'm really confused on why you can't see the present thing. I'm truly you're.
Yeah, I'm surprised too because I can always present at work.
I've never heard of anybody having this problem ever. I've been using StreamYard for months. I'm like on everybody's chats and stuff going on other people's shows and stuff, and so I've never heard of this. So I'm confused. Are you sure you opened the right one? I sent a new email.
I used the new one.
Crud. Well, let's see here. How about this?
That's the roundabout way. Just pull up the page and.
Yeah, how about this? I'm going to pull up the page. And
so I'll just try to see it if I can.
So let me go.
Just turn it on the TV. Mm-hmm. I guess your mom.
Well, if you pull it there, and if you can.
Okay, so can you see that on the screen there?
Okay, so up in that. Well, now I can't. Now I've got some other screen in front of me. I don't want that. I want va.gov. Find a VA location.
All right. So
okay. You can just choose find a VA location up there.
Yeah, right on the bar along the top there, right above where it says the Veterans Administration. Yeah, right there you go.
Okay, I got a lag on mine a little bit there from the one.
Well, you're probably looking at the YouTube screen and not the StreamYard stream.
Right. Okay. So just because that one's a little bit smaller. All right. So where you have the city or location, just put 28301. So anybody can, in that top where it says city, state, or postal code.
Yep.
Put 28301.
Already there. You're gonna have to.
Okay.
I can hear you. You're
sorry.
looking at the YouTube, so you're like 5 seconds behind me.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, and then choose Veterans Health.
Veteran Health. Okay.
Yeah.
And now it has the option of all veteran health services.
Yeah.
Or
just
it has
search. Just put search.
Okay. So search. So this is.
It should be Fayetteville. Fayetteville, VA.
North Carolina. Yep.
Okay. So click the hospital. Fayetteville VA Medical Center.
Medical Center.
Yeah. So anybody can, anywhere they are, especially if you know which facility, where your main hospital is, you can click on, you can put that in and you can find the location that is nearest to you. You clicked on Wilmington, and Wilmington is part of the Fayetteville VA system.
That's what I thought.
So yeah, so your healthcare system isn't as large as Fayetteville, so you don't have quite as many services there as available at the main location, which is in Fayetteville. When you get to these screens, I don't know, there's a big, they wanted them all to look alike, and unfortunately they look like you got to a spam site, but this is the new look for all the VAs. But on this page, if you can go to all these different places on it, but if you scroll down, you will see, don't go too fast, but keep scrolling down. Let me see if I can turn my phone sideways so I can see better. Okay. As you scroll down there, I'm going to pull my screen up too, just so I can see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Hold on, if I can get it to come up. Oh no, I closed it. All right, so I gotta see. I need bigger eyes or something, so you can see where there's all these different
Health services offered.
yeah, like audiology and
COVID, caregiver support, dental oral surgery, homeless veteran care, LGBTQ veteran care.
if you click on that one right there, you would find me, but you don't have to. But you would find me in there because I offer that. Then there's all
The
these different
LGBTQ
services.
veteran care.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Just want to confirm. I
That
read a
My
bunch.
Healthy, yep. The My Healthy Vet is a way for veterans to communicate individually with in a secure message with their providers. They can communicate back and forth and ask questions. I can't see to read. But there's all these different types of services that are available. Then there's the patient advocate. So anybody has any kind of a problem, the patient advocate is available there. So if just go back up to one of them and click on it.
I've got the right here. It has the tells you all about the My Health Vet Coordinator. Vet Coordinator, you can start using the VA online portal to manage your appointments and records, refill prescriptions, view your lab and test results, and communicate with your healthcare team. So it sounds very similar to the digital or the online network thing that I use for my healthcare. Contact to schedule, reschedule, or cancel appointments. Referral is required. You'll need to contact your primary care provider first. They do list the phone number for this particular site right here, which if you are in the Fayetteville area, might as well put it out there, 910-488-2120. Referral required. Walk-ins accepted? No.
Did it say no? Did it say no walk-ins?
No walk-ins, it says. If you need help using the MyVet, you can contact a coordinator by phone or in person. With My Health Vet, you can ask questions and exchange secure online messages. Check that. So that's what they were just saying. View, download. You can print all your medical records on there too. Keep track of your appointments and enter and update your personal information. So that's pretty important. Learn more, register for My Health Vet. So I mean, why not? Why wouldn't you want to take advantage of something like that?
Yeah, you can look up your lab. I mean, everything is really important through My Healthy Vet. The veterans use that all the time.
Okay.
So these are all the different kinds of resources that are available to you and to all veterans. If you go back up, go back up again. So this is the website that you go to, but okay, so those are all the services. These are all the services that are available in Fayetteville. Yeah, keep going. So different.
The patient advocates thing here has a referral required, no. Walk-ins accepted, yes. So that is, if you're looking for somebody to help you out to get answers or address concerns with your care team, advocate for patient or family rights, serve as advocates for minority veterans, women veterans, veterans with disabilities, which is basically one of those big ones we're talking about. I'm not a veteran, but I got a disability, and I'm sure there's other ones in there that have similar. So offer specialized help to former prisoners of war and veterans transitioning from Operation Enduring Freedom, Operation Iraqi Freedom, and Operation New Dawn. So, I mean, that's
there's
this era. That's everybody in this era since I was a kid. That's for sure.
Well, there's a transition team so anybody coming out of the military, we have transition team to help them get right into the VA system so that they don't lose, and helps them get their benefits set up and everything. So, and apply for disability benefits and all. If you go back up to the top, there was something I was going to say about it too. Scroll back up. Did you scroll back up all the way up to the top so I can try to see what? Go back to that blue. I wish I could see it.
Make an appointment, register for care, pharmacy. What's the
The blue in the middle there. No, go down. Yeah, a little bit. What does that all say there? I can't read it.
in the
It's-
spotlight at VA Fayetteville Coastal Healthcare? Get help from patient advocates, access your health records, find a phone number, check your billing, insurance and payment options, volunteer or donate, read our annual reports, and compare our performance with non-VA facilities.
Okay, yeah, there's volunteer services. That's a great way to participate too. But the homeless program, that's what I wanted to say. You have to be homeless to get the services, but they put out vouchers. So anybody who's a homeless veteran that's interested, not all homeless veterans are interested in the homeless veteran program. And they also, unfortunately, some of our veterans, it gets sticky because some of our veterans have a get disability and get checks because they like serve for a long time, and this sounds crazy, but they're homeless and they make too money to get help from the homeless veteran program. And it
Makes
sounds
sense.
it doesn't it sounds like it doesn't make sense, but when you think about like somebody who served in the military and they got out and they get a check and they get significant amount of money in a check, but maybe they when they got out they maybe because of the PTSD or maybe because they were drinking a lot in there or something, they end up with catching a charge or something, or they do some time in jail or something happens,
Say
and
this one
then
says they
now
help
they
veterans
can't.
who are homeless, at risk of becoming homeless due to financial hardship, unemployment, addiction, depression, transition from jail, uh, and they have immediate food and shelter needs, including both transitional and permanent housing, job training, life skills development and education, justice system navigation, and community reentry from jail. Financial
Right.
support to prevent homelessness, addiction and depression treatment, and health and dental care.
Right. And they do. But if you happen to have maybe been in jail, been in trouble, but you have a check that's significant, sometimes you can't get an apartment. You had an eviction or you can't get an apartment because of one of those situations, but your money is still you still have a significant income. Doesn't mean you can get an apartment though until you get stuck in one of those situations. So sometimes that's significant. So we try to talk to them about maybe staying in one of those like hotels or whatever and putting money away so they can buy a house or something, because they can get loans to get houses and stuff, so without down payments and stuff. But if you click down on that blue piece on the bottom, so you can find so much information, and there's always people that will help you to find what you need. And there's certain people that will specifically help you. Even though this sounds funny, but I work in the LGBTQ plus help people one or the my and I know that I get a lot of phone calls funneled through me. So if you find somebody like myself or somebody that works a social worker, case manager, they're apt to help you find what you need if you can't find an entrance any other place. So I'm just telling you that because like the group, there's a huge national group that helps veterans, minority veterans and stuff. And so we're pretty good at, or the transition 9/11 transition teams and stuff. We're really good at helping people find where they need to go in the system. But
cool.
if you click on that PACT Act down there,
The where at?
where way down in the bottom, there's a blue going across the bottom. No, nope, don't scroll. Right on the bottom of the screen.
Learn what PAC means.
Down at the bottom, is that what it says?
Learn what your PAC means for your VA benefits.
Yes. Click on that and see if that will.
The PACT Act is a new law that expands VA healthcare and benefits for veterans exposed to burn pits, Agent Orange, and other toxic substances. PACT adds to the list of health conditions that we assume or presume are caused by exposure to these substances. This law helps us to provide generations of veterans and their survivors with the care and benefits they've earned and deserve. Agreed. This page will help you answer your questions about what the PACT Act means for you and your loved ones. You can also call us at 800-698-2411 or TTY 711. And you can claim for PACT Act related disability compensation or apply for VA health care now from this page. It has a find a disability claim, file a disability claim online, and apply for VA health care right here on this page.
Scroll down, see if it goes down.
It does. It has what is PACT and how will it affect VA benefits? What does it mean to have presumptive condition for toxic exposure, Gulf War era, 9/11, veteran eligibility, Vietnam era eligibility, getting benefits, toxic exposure screenings, and information for survivors.
And I think it even talks about down on that page what they are and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it does. It says exactly. It says they're trying to bring these changes, expands and extends eligibility for VA health care for veterans with toxic exposures in the Vietnam, Gulf War, and post 9/11 eras, adds 20 plus more presumptive conditions for burn pits, Agent Orange, and other toxic exposures, adds more presumptive exposure locations for Agent Orange and radiation, requires VA to provide toxic exposure screening to every veteran enrolled in VA healthcare. So they're required. If you want to see if you've been exposed to something crazy, they're required. It helps us improve research, staff education, and treatment-related toxic exposures. If you're a veteran or survivor, you can file claims now to apply for PACT Act-related benefits.
Yep. And if you, and if you're not already, so if you are a veteran and you haven't explored the PACT Act, or you know a veteran who's never even applied for the VA or anything, this is a place to go. Just have them find their VA location. It's va.gov, and then find a location, their location, and they can do it at that location. They prefer you come in and do it, but you can even do it over the phone if you need to, and you can even enroll over the phone if you need to. You can do that through email and through the phone. All you need is a DD-214, and lots of cases for things like MST and PTSD, and if somebody was put out of the military and their discharge was because of homosexuality or any of those sorts of things, they will now upgrade the discharge, and you're eligible for benefits and disabilities and all. And so there's a lot of great stuff in that respect, and get those services and benefits and disability payments and all that you have coming to you, and could even upgrade more disability benefits. Not that we want anybody to have a disability, but if you do and you have that money coming to you, please tell anybody that you know that's a veteran, or yourself if you're a veteran, and take advantage of it. You deserve it.
You deserve it. You
right.
deserve it.
This wasn't really epilepsy, but
no, that's fine, because that's the thing is, there's plenty of soldiers that have come out that have TBIs and stuff like that, that end up having seizures after the fact from the traumatic brain injury.
And we have TBI clinics and lots to offer for TBI.
Common.
Yeah, very, very, very common to these days, because we're learning a lot more about the brain. You know, for many years we've studied the neurology in the brain, but every year we get smarter as a society and as a world as a whole, and we learn more, and that's what's happened since the beginning of time. So now we're learning a lot more, and we're learning that like you look at the football players that the quarterbacks, they look at their brains after they pass away, and they say, man, these guys had some screwed up brains, but we couldn't see this when they were alive because they were alive. And so it's don't just because you don't know doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So take it. If you feel like there's any problem, you have it all. Take advantage of these opportunities. They're absolutely pertinent. That you don't waste any opportunity with any of it.
And sometimes it's not a lie about long wait times, but it's pretty much getting that way out in the community anyway. But you just know that you want to be your own advocate in your health care. So if you go and it's
Start
taking
sooner than later.
long. Yep, you just want to make sure that you're advocating for yourself and staying on top of your own health care. You have to do that anywhere in the world, but in any healthcare system, but stay on top of it yourself and get your needs met. And the
Don't
healthcare is up to date and excellent healthcare. You just sometimes have to stay on top of it. And we do offer urgent care visits to once you get your registered and approved for benefits and whatever urgent care. You don't have to sit in the big long lines. You at the VA, you can go to the urgent care that's closest to you in the community. So there's a lot of changes now. So
That's really cool. I did see that when I was going through that they had a list of non-VA facilities that provide VA care, which is, I mean, very important. I'm glad you would think they would all do it. I think that would just be one of the heck. I don't know why we just don't have care for everybody, but I mean, especially the soldiers. I mean, come on, like
that's right.
I get to live a nice life because somebody's somewhere making sure of it. You know,
That's right.
not in the greatest of ways I don't agree with most of the time, but at the same time, I'm happy to get to live the life I do. So, and
That's right.
our military might kind of dictates that, unfortunately. But
Well,
I do appreciate you
everything.
coming on and sharing this information. It very much has to do with health in general, and when it comes down to it, if there's a veteran out there that can get something, this provides something to them.
Or somebody hears it and tells a veteran, and it makes
Tells a
their
veteran.
life
That's why I
easier.
said in the chat, I'm like, if you know of anybody who's
Yeah,
a veteran,
send
share
it
the stream
along.
with them.
Send it along.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is good information for anybody that's just trying to help themselves, help those around them.
Part of a military family. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. There's a lot of, everybody's got some sort of connection with the military. I know all my grandparents and great uncles and all that, they were all in the military in different branches, Air Force, Marines, Navy, Army. I mean, they were in all of them. And so I you know, that was growing up. I saw the wards. I saw the hard work that they put in, and how much they believed that they were fighting to make sure that I got to live the life I did, and they truly believed that. You know, I don't know if everybody's morals quite meet up the same as they did in the past, but you know, like I said, I'm happy to have the life I live, and if I can help out veterans in any way I can, even just by providing some information, if it finds its way to somebody that can be benefited by it, then I've done all I can, and I'm happy to have done it. So I appreciate you coming on and walking us through this a little bit, and it definitely was much more beneficial than me jibber jabbering about it 40 minutes ago when I was just kind of clicking on the page. That's the difference.
Yep.
Is I researched so much stuff this week, but it's like the stuff that I researched wasn't the VA, because I can only learn so much from the website.
That's right.
You know, they'll only allow me in on so much information before they're like, yeah, that's our information. You don't get that. And like, you're not a veteran, so you're not qualified to hear about it. This isn't for you. So no, you don't get to move any further. Well, you're way past that. So I appreciate you coming in and making sure. And Anonymous here tonight works with the LGBTQ community in the VA, and they, you know, really care about the people that they work with. It's not just a job. It's a lifestyle of care and love for fellow humans. So, you know, there are good people working in some of these rough places. So no, there is help in there, and there are people that care. So
maybe people, if they want to ask any specific questions, they can email you through your.
Yeah, if you have questions, email them to me, because I mean, I can always ask questions. I'm not afraid to call and message anybody ever. I'll call anybody anytime and bring on information.
The link is in the description of your YouTube handle, right?
Yeah, I believe so. So, well, once again, I appreciate you popping on, and
all right.
I appreciate it for sure. And
thanks for the platform.
Thanks, Anonymous.
Thanks for what you do for everybody.
Heck yeah.
All right. I'll be off then. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Awesome. Well, I'm really glad that we were able to do that. That was very beneficial to the discussion in general. So, um, very
Opened up a
cool.
lot of
Very
different
cool.
topics.
Yeah, it opened up a lot of doors to, and hopefully some people are able to walk through them. That's all I can hope for. So now, I'm glad we got to cover that topic, but this next topic is one that has been asked of me a few times now. Quite a few people have brought up the topic, and it's really, I mean, it's a neat topic, and it's come a long way, but it's also a very kind of an odd topic. Once we started digging, we were finding the success stories, beautiful stories of care and animals saving their owners and all this. And then you hear other stories like these people didn't even actually train the dog. The dog showed up and couldn't do any of the cues. So they were doing these training programs with dogs that couldn't actually do what they told were trained to do. And then the good organization is like, like 1 out of 4 dogs, when we train them, end up like having a chance. So you assume every 4 dogs, only one of them is going to have even the skills to be able to do it, for them to even want to pull into the training. And then they bring the dogs in, and then only a select few of those actually get to become service and response dogs. So I'd like to cover emergency alert and support assistance trained animals. And because you know what, it turns out it's not just dogs. People carry around birds and stuff. People carry around mice in their pockets. I saw one where somebody had a turtle. They had their support turtle. No joke. Had a support turtle.
And I also know a lot about service animals because
Yes,
Leo is
you
a service
do.
dog.
Yes,
So
you
if
do.
there's any
So once,
questions about that, I have.
yeah, once we get through this, if you have anything to input on this, I know you know plenty on this topic because you really got the gist from it. They made you work for it, didn't they?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
learned it because I had to.
right on. That's necessity creates opportunity.
Absolutely.
So essentially the first place that we looked at, that of all the, I mean, we looked at a lot, the one that that seemed to be the most like, okay, I like it when I pull this one up and I say, okay, I don't feel
Uncomfortable.
I don't feel uncomfortable about. I feel like they're really they care about their dogs. Their placement process and everything is all right. That it's very simple website, very simple website that very easily able to be navigated. You see, their dogs are trained to alert to and assist after a seizure. Each case is unique depending on the types of seizures the person is seeking an assistance dog experiences. Due to the wide variety of factors involved in determining how a dog can best assist the affected party, we will need to speak to you and your neurologist to gain a complete understanding of your seizures. This will allow us to determine what is possible, how to train the dog to assist most effectively, and to set realistic expectations for the type of assistance the dog can provide. They have a link here to donate any of these programs. Make sure, anytime, look into who you're donating to. But I mean, this one is, I bet if you look into it deeper, you'd feel comfortable with this. So there's types of seizure dogs, seizure alerts, the gradual escalation seizure activity. So some seizures, including many temporal lobe seizures, are characterized by a gradual escalation of seizure activity. This extended onset before the seizure begins to present visibly provides an opportunity for a dog to recognize the scent cue and alert, thereby providing advance notice of a seizure. Not all of them do that. Seizure alert, quick building seizure activity. Frontal lobe seizures tend to strike quickly and do not provide a dog time to alert before the handler begins to show physical symptoms. However, in cases where seizure activity builds very quickly, the dogs can still be trained to alert during the seizure. In these situations, the dog is often taught to go and find another family member when the handler has a seizure. And we have the seizure response and assistance dogs. These dogs are trained to assist after a seizure. This is often referred to as a seizure response training. These dogs are trained to locate and retrieve a phone for their handler to call for help if needed, and even dial a specialized assistance dog phone, which allows the dog to call for help by pressing a button. Sweet. That's awesome. I love animals. This means the dog can call for help even when the affected party is unconscious. Your dog could literally save your life. Dogs are also trained to help brace and balance their handler for stability after a seizure, retrieve medication, provide deep pressure therapy. Like they'll literally like bounce on your chest to get you breathing and stuff.
I love watching the puppies train.
It's so cute. No, they look like they're just having so much fun doing it, you know. And the fact that they're having so much fun and then they end up saving lives that way.
Right.
Like they literally are the ones in the situation ready to save a life. And that's awesome. I love it. So, even in certain cases, recipients will ask that the dog be trained to retrieve a family member in another room. In order to receive a seizure dog, and what if you need a seizure dog for a child or infant? These are topics that they go into on here. If you're interested in working with Little Angels, this is where you start. You start at either at this little link thing here or up here at the top. They have a placement process. Go in, look at the frequently asked questions. This is where they bring you. Well, in order to receive a seizure alert dog from Little Angels, you must have seizures more than once per month on average. Frequency is required for the dog to learn and recognize them. If you're not having seizures all the time, the dog will lose track of what's going on. Have strong communication and ability to be consistent with the dog regarding training and exercises. Like you can't do start out doing something and then stop doing it and expect the dog to continue having the same abilities. You have to love dogs. And if you don't love dogs, well, I'm sure that this program is way out of your league, but I promise if you got one, you'd probably love it. Have finances to provide your dog with veterinary care, maintenance for the next 10 to 12 years, because they're a commitment. You don't get a dog for a day. You get a dog for years. They become part of your family. And even though this one is a special service dog, they're part of your family. They're just a very special part. Be willing to travel to San Diego, California, or Bartlett, New Hampshire for handler training with you or your child, or at least one additional adult to provide child care while you are in your lessons. So you don't just go into it. They go, here, I need a dog. And they say, here's a dog. No, if you want to seize your dog, you're going to do their training program too, which is also not free. All this stuff tends to start to get a little money. So at that point, they have the little angel service dogs. They have a training program. Why? Because the humans have to be trained too. If you want your dog to be consistent and do what it's expected to do in the moment, you need to be trained as well. And they have a process. All right. And so I'd like to, it's not this one, right? No, it's the, wasn't that one. No, it's the next one. Okay. So what is their handler training? It's where the disabled party learns how to work with their service dog as a team. It generally takes 14 days with their training every day. This is when the dog learns to respond to the commands of the handler. When the handler learns how to reinforce the training of the dog that has already received. They have their process. You apply for a dog. It's a lifelong commitment to each recipient. And each dog that we place, once you and your dog have graduated, we maintain contact to ensure that your dog's training and assistance remains intact, that the dog remains healthy and happy, and that the dog is improving your quality of life. They're not just going to give you a dog and like, oh, everything, see you later, pup. We just spent all this money training it and you and all this stuff and getting everything set up. And they're going to make sure that dog's taken care of after the fact. And they don't all do that. Not all those places check back. A lot of these places, we seem to find that
They kind of seem like they boast a lot, but they don't really deliver what they're.
They what they claim they can offer is far different than what is actually provided. A lot of the reviews of some of these little organizations and stuff, and I don't want to knock on mom and pop. I own a mom and pop, you know, I've owned multiple businesses, so I don't want to knock on these people. But the problem is somebody will adopt a dog that's a service training dog, and they'll breed this dog and say, oh, these are special service dogs that are of a special breed. So we have this dog. Well, like I already said, they've already determined it doesn't matter. You could, it doesn't matter the breed, the type. It's a chance. The dog either has it or it doesn't. They like, if they find, oh, this dog doesn't do really well for the response stuff, but it does know it's really good at smelling stuff. So they would notice the cue stuff, like the scent, like, cause I have a scent when I started to go, pre-ictal, and I start to get weird, and I'll start to smell, like I get like a smell that my wife can recognize. She goes, oh no, you smell like seizures. Let's take some medicine, you know, and I do, I stink. It's a weird, very
sweat odor.
It changes
like from like regular BO.
It smells like metally or something.
Yeah, it smells like a tin can.
Like it changes my whole scent, and those dogs can recognize that, and that's very cool. That's very cool.
You would train that dog to know that scent.
Yeah, and so that's when they say you're not just training. They train those dogs to pick up scents, but then they have to train those dogs to pick up your scent, your particular scent, and that's the difference. You can't just
get handed a dog and expect it to meet your needs when you've never met it before.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. So you have to be willing. This is a commitment, a true commitment. So the next one here, I think I got it there. Yep, there we are. This is the medical mutts. This was another one, and honestly, I don't know. I swear it just looks like your standard mom and pop sort of thing, but just I get a good vibe from these people. I don't know what it was. All the things that we read, I got a good vibe from these people. Like when you hear them talk, we watch the videos of their thing. They seem to have a good moral. They set themselves to a good. What's the word I'm looking for? They're setting themselves a high boundary for what is acceptable. Their moral compass is far exceeding a lot of these other places that are kind of just doling out dogs, doling out animals.
Profit, but they do it for the benefit of the dog.
Yeah, these people really seem to care, and that makes a big difference to me when I talk about this stuff, because I don't want to share with people organizations that don't really care. They're just in it for the dough, or just not what they claim to be. So Medical Mutts was founded by Jennifer wHaT. She's a PhD, and her husband Jack Topham in 2013. As a for-profit dedicated to the training of high-quality diabetes alert dogs, seizure dogs, and psychiatric service dogs, while providing a new lease on life to shelter dogs. Since 2019, the Medical Mutts became a nonprofit organization with a mission to continuously improve our programs and expand their programs, and expand how many people with disabilities they can help, how many dogs they can save. For many years, Medical Mutts has been successfully partnering homeless dogs with clients with disabilities. Service dogs find a permanent home and a chance for a high-quality life. In return, they offer loyalty, independence, and loving assistance to an individual with disability. With a team of highly qualified and certified trainers, Medical Mutts offers different levels of service depending on each person's needs, from fully trained service dogs to training owner dogs as service dogs, or teaching owners how to train their own dogs. So they have programs that like some people have service dogs already, but they're not doing exactly what they need. So they'll help you get you and your dog to a better place. Standard. Yeah, it's not saying, oh, we'll just let you fix your dog and it's going to become a service. No, that's
But they also understand that not every dog is going to be an assistance dog.
yeah, and they know how to recognize this. So how they make it, they save dogs that have been abandoned, promote benefit for a dog adoption, provide quality service dogs, promote ethical force-free training and care for dogs, dispute tradition and outdated training methods that cause distress to the dogs, contribute to scientific advancement in the field of medical detection, believe that ideas should constantly be challenged and supported by facts, help dog owners with disabilities train their own dogs as a service dog. We educate about the role of service dogs. We teach professionals around the world how to train diabetes alert dogs and seizure alert dogs. So they're the people that people go to learn about it. They're out in Indianapolis. So I think it plays better if you play the video. So there's a video I've got underneath that link there, that About Us Medical Mutt Service Dogs, the YouTube link. Go ahead and pull that up, and let me pull this down. Go ahead and pull that video up, and we'll play that real quick, because I mean this is their video. This is one that's off of their site. It's available on YouTube if you'd like to view it again after the fact. Realistically, I felt super thrilled to read it. Even, I mean, honest to goodness, or to listen to it. I like it. So I'll let you guys hear it so you can hear what their missions and goals are.
Our mission is to provide quality service dogs to people who have conditions such as diabetes, epileptic seizures, or psychiatric conditions, or more. But it's also to help dogs, to provide a new lease on life to homeless dogs that have gone through abandonment.
We get most of our dogs from shelters and rescues. We travel to shelters pretty much every week looking for dogs that meet our criteria. We want dogs who are friendly with people, comfortable around people, what we call Velcro dogs, so dogs that want to be next to you all the time, comfortable enough to approach a new person, to say hi and solicit attention or petting. We also want dogs who are confident, who can approach a new situation and be comfortable and not overly fearful. They can startle if something, suddenly, if there's a sudden loud noise, but we want them to recover quickly. We're looking a lot at resilience. They can go into a new situation and kind of take their surroundings and bearings and then be ready to focus on their person. We also look at food motivation. So we want dogs who can work for even dry food or kibble. They do need to be comfortable with other dogs. We want the training to be fun for the dog. So a lot of people think service dogs have a kind of a dreary life. They have to work all the time. But our dogs just have a lot of opportunities to earn rewards and earn treats. We don't want to use any methods that may inhibit the dog or make the dog nervous or uncomfortable. We want them to have an enjoyable life and not have to worry about any sort of punishment.
Overall, only 1 out of every 3 or 4 dogs is going to make it as a service dog. Not all dogs are made to be service dogs. And for some of them, it's just too difficult, and going out in public is not their thing. So those dogs are rehomed, we find them a permanent home, and we keep the others into our training program. Once the dogs are into our facility, they're going to be taught about 30 different behaviors to become a service dog. We have a 3-level training. So in the first level, the dogs are going to learn all the foundational behaviors. How to walk on a leash without pulling, sit, down, stand, and also some scent work. So they have about 12 different behaviors that they're going to learn in the first segment. Then they move on to the second level, the intermediate level, where the behaviors become a little bit more complex, where we ask for more duration. For instance, they have to hold a downstay for longer and with a lot more distractions around. So we increase the level of the training. And finally, in the third level of training, what we call specialized, That's when we match the dog to their final person, and we train the dog specifically to the person. So we put on all of the behaviors that are disability specific on the dog. At the level 3, at the last stage, the dog is going to learn behaviors like the alerts. So now the trainer is going to have the scent on their person and teach the dog that whenever they have that scent, the dog comes over and pokes them.
When we match a dog with a person, they get invited to 10 days here at our facility. That is called team training. That's when they start to become a team. That's when the human part of the team learns all those communication skills that the dog already knows. Interestingly enough, though, the dog doesn't know those cues and information that the new person is giving them. So even though our dogs know all these cues already, they don't know it with their team person.
It was a little overwhelming at first, yeah. I felt like a fish out of water. I didn't know what I was coming into. I did a bit of research, but not what I was expecting. But it all came together.
Biggest thing that I've learned is it is never ending. It is always practicing. It is always getting better. And then that's something else that I'm able to kind of educate people on as well now.
It was a little discouraging because I'm like, I'm never going to get this. But then, you know, here we are, day 9, and he's been listening. He's been doing great. He's been doing fantastic. There's a long road to go, but we're really starting to work as a team.
Get to know each other and start learning how to communicate effectively with each other. So you can go out in public, so you can perform the tasks. And so when you go home, you start that process all over again from this is our routine, this is how we train, this is where we go. And they have all the tools, hopefully, to start that process together.
They're, as I said, they're guardian angels for me. The wait was a little nerve-wracking, but it paid off in a big way. And I think he's going to save my life.
I don't know. I even like the video. Even the video itself is just a
Heartwarming.
it's a heart. Yeah, they seem like people I know. Like if I lived in their town, those would be like the people I would end up being friends with or something. I don't know. They just seem like nice people, just calm, just really cared about their animals. I mean, that's what else do you want? If
And they're honest.
they care about their animals, and they want to make sure that that animal cares about you, and that it's trained properly. And
they're giving dogs a chance that we're about to probably be part of a kill shelter too.
that's the thing, is that they're taking in those abandoned dogs. They take in all the dogs, and they say, you know, hey, I hate to say it, not all of these dogs are going to get to be service dogs, and we're going to train a bunch of dogs. But then they rehome them anyway. They determine, is this dog going to be worthwhile to send in for training or not? And then that dog gets to determine what kind of life he lives. And they don't want him to live a life of just work. They like they said, even their training programs have moved away from the archaic styles where they like make it just makes the dogs robotic and takes away their personalities and such. And it's truly, I really feel that when these dogs come out of places like this, and they go and they meet with these people truly seem to appreciate the animal that they have been given far more, because the animals are better trained. They perform better when needed. They're easier to do those regular tasks that you have to keep up with to make sure that the dog can continue. Like, it's, you know, and it wasn't just seizures. That was people that have the diabetic episodes, and I mean, they have them for so many different things now. And it's not just the emergency response animals, you know, because not every animal is going to be an emergency response animal. So many of them can be just now they have support animals. There's a difference. So there's multiple kinds. There's emotional assistance animals who are really more or less they're trained to be able to go into public. They're trained to be able to hang out with you in normal places and provide, you know, a relaxation, you know, something to keep you calm in the moment and such. Some of them are made to actually
I just wanted to give a quick
your life
correction.
after. So what's up?
Emotional support animals are not trained to do a specific task, where service
Yeah.
dogs are trained to do a specific task. So
Yeah,
that's
some of
the
the
big
support
difference
dogs, they
between
were
them.
some of the support dogs, they were saying basically they're emotional support dogs. So the regular support dogs, the support response dogs are different because they're the ones that go in, like they may not be able to stop you or do much. They might be able to help you get to the ground or something, but they're the ones that recognize how to do things after the fact, like go and, oh, hey, there's something wrong with my owner. Let me go find somebody. And they're the type of dog that'll just wander and go find somebody and be like, hey, come with me. Come with me. Like, so even a dog that's just a spastic little dog like that, they can train it to be normal and only do that when it's time to protect you. Or you can get a dog like yours that just provides you the comfort that you need when you're around, just in normal situations. Some people have trouble in public.
Leo's a service dog. Because there's a difference between a service dog that's specifically trained and a dog that is not. That's just or animals, you know, an emotional support, and then there's a service. So
I think you got to get Peaches a tag, carry Peaches around. Wouldn't you want to hear him all day too? As you walked around, he could squawk in your ear all day and do your hair. It'd be fantastic. No. Immediate no's.
If people want more information about service animals too and the laws, the American Disabilities Act of 1990 is what protects people with service animals.
Yes.
And emotional support ones, but they do outline that there is a difference between them. And so the ADA.gov is where you can get information about that.
Awesome. They're definitely one of the ones. American with Disabilities Act is definitely one of the places where I send people to quite often, just because, you know, people think I'm getting the Brits from the bad guys, you know, and it's like, well, you know, even though they're the bad guys, sometimes you check in with these people, and they're the ones that are going to help you make progress, even if it takes a long time. You gotta start somewhere, and the American with Disabilities Act has a lot of information, even if it's not going to be programs or something to help you move forward. They are going to have the listings of the laws and stuff that are respective to your disabilities and stuff like that can be really beneficial if you're not familiar with all the laws. We're not all lawyers, so if we can find these things in layman's terms and help ourselves get more, the more you know, the better. You're never going to hurt yourself by learning a little bit more.
It's a good resource.
Exactly. Fantastic resource. So thank you for bringing that one up. Now, I guess I got a few minutes left here. So I had one more thing that I was going to cover, but honestly, we were just talking about it, Lon and I, and
we'll probably talk about it next week.
Yeah, we'll probably just end up talking about it next week, just because I'll have some more information, because I started the research program today. I signed in and did all that stuff today, and send over my stuff and start doing my program. So we'll probably just move on to that next week, and I have another topic ready to rip and tear through to as well. So we'll have plenty of stuff for next week. I couldn't get this week was supposed to be an interview with my friend who has diabetic neuropathy, who also has seizures from it. But unfortunately, she just had some real troubles just with life in general. So can't hold anything against people for having a tough life. So we wish her the best, and only love and care for her and her family. And we hope everything works out so that one day she can come on and join us, and maybe provide some stuff in the long run. But for now, we'll just keep her in our thoughts and make sure that, I've got other friends who have other stuff too. But service dogs costs 101. How to budget for a canine companion. Now, a lot of this information is going to be the same as the stuff on the next site that I'm going to pull up. But there's a difference between How much does it cost to own a dog or to get one of these dogs from the people that help you find dogs? And it's another one to come from the people that help you control your money. And as much as Amplify is not one of the, I wouldn't go to Amplify for much else. They have a lot of stuff on you know, they have banks and all this stuff, you know, they're a credit union. So, but when they want to tell you about money, who do you talk to about money? You know, you don't go to a plumber to wire your house, you know, so you go to the people that want to know about money. So let me read this page to you real quick. It's not a very long page, but it's got a lot of good information, and I'll try and whiz through. Service animals provide thousands of individuals with disabilities assistance in their everyday life. Though the help that they provide is essential to the lives of many, they aren't inexpensive. Because of the extensive training they must undergo, purchasing a service dog can be stressful and an expensive endeavor. Luckily, there are ways to lessen the financial load. We're here to answer some common questions like, who can benefit? Should you buy a trained dog or train one you already own? How much does a service dog cost? And are there financial assistance programs available? Who can benefit? The Americans with Disabilities Act defines a service animal as a dog that has been individually trained to do work and perform tasks for an individual with a disability. The definition goes on to add that the tasks performed by the dog must be directly related to the person's disability. Conventional roles that the service dog fills include guide dogs, also known as seeing eye dogs, signal dogs for the hearing impaired to alert people of like door knocks. Seizure response dogs learn to assist with seizure disorders. Some are even carefully trained to detect seizures before they happen and help people get to a safe place. Sensory signal dogs utilized by those with conditions like autism. They can alert their owners when they're engaging in repetitive movements like hand flapping, helping them to control their urges. And psychiatric service dogs, those who help with disabilities like post-traumatic stress. They can detect the onset of episodes, keep their handler calm, safe, and perform a wide array of other tasks. Emotional support animals and therapy dogs. Emotional support animals, while often used as a valid medical treatment plan for many conditions, are not considered service animals under the ADA. The difference between a service animal and an emotional support animal is the service animal has received specialized training to perform specific tasks. ESAs and therapy dogs don't have any training, but instead provide their owners with therapeutic contact. Should you buy a trained one or one you already owned? Really? That's up to your dog. I mean, that's not really up to you. That's up to the dog. It takes a lot of training for a service dog to be skilled enough to aid a person with a disability. Trainers put hours of work into each animal, so buying a service dog is not cheap. According to the National Service of Animal Registry, the average cost of service dog is around $15,000 to $30,000 up front. Some can even cost upwards of $50,000, depending on their specific tasks and responsibilities. The cost of training your dog. The ADA does not require service, support, or animals to receive professional training. This means that the owner can theoretically train their dog if they desire to do so. There are training programs and service dog certifications available online that can assist in this, including the Canine Good Citizen program sponsored by the American Kennel Club. However, most experts agree that this is a task that is usually left best to the professionals. According to the experts at the service dog certifications, professionals dog trainers might charge anywhere between $150 and $250 per hour. They also state that it can take up to 2 years for a dog to be trained for a full range of support services for a person may need. The amount of training may vary depending on the tasks that you need your service dog to perform, making it difficult to come up with a single estimate, but this can quickly add up. How much does it cost? Well, like anything, any commitment, especially with an animal. Food, everyone has to eat. Service dogs typically are larger breeds that go through quite a bit of dog food. It's important you budget around $400 a year for dog food. Vet care, minimum, your dog should at least have checkups and routine shots. Annual visits, occasional shots may cost up to $260 a year. I've been to the vet recently. That can cost you that every time you go. Preventative medicines, dogs should take preventative heartworm medications, prone to ticks or fleas. If you're in an area with a lot of fleas, cover that type of stuff. I mean, obviously, the supplies, all the stuff you're going to need, the beds and stuff, all that stuff adds up. So keep that in mind. After you spend this astronomical amount of money getting this dog, you're going to have more to go. It's a commitment. Are there financial assistance programs available for those who need service dog? Yes. Even years of savings sometimes aren't enough to cover the cost of a service animal. Luckily, there are several options when it comes to financing the purchase of a service dog. Some of the most common include home equity loans, which now you're putting your house on the line for a dog. Fundraising, this approach has been more feasible with the advent of online fundraising platforms like GoFundMe. These platforms can make it possible to share your campaigns and personal story across the world. Even donations of a few dollars here and there start to add up. Grants and nonprofits. Donations from both government and nonprofit organizations aim to provide service dogs to those who need them for little to no cost. Some service dog organizations cater to individuals with particular needs, while others serve groups such as veterans. Others provide resources and funds such as keeping your dog healthy once you own it. You can find terrific lists of organizations, and they have a list right here. It's certainly it's a great place to start. It's a great place to start for that. And so we're hitting the end right here. So let me I got one more link that I would like to open up. I don't want to go too long because I know you guys like to set up for the next show, because here in about an hour or so we'll be 30 minutes.
Yeah, she starts at 8:30.
At 8:30. Okay, sweet. Well, then about a half hour here, Lucky will come on, and she has a cool show to provide for us as well. So this here, I have another link right here. I'll pull this bad boy up. Jibber jabber quick so we can get me on here. Get along, little doggy. And so this is the servicedogcertification.org. This is different. This is when you really need to get in and get the proper training for you and of your dog and all that. This is where you go. The people like this, you got to find a place like this because you need to be trained too. Quality doesn't come cheap. Neither does a service dog. However, considering how beneficial a well-trained service dog can be to quality of life and its handler, then a service dog is priceless. And like I said, there's a lot that goes into it. And the service dogs for full purpose are bred to be service dogs. So there are specific breeders who select dogs for their health, temperament, intelligence. These dogs are chosen for qualities required for service dogs. Some dogs also purchase from non-service dog breeders if a dog shows exceptional traits that would be fit for service dogs. So that's what I mean. If you get in with these people that know this stuff, they're the ones who know and help you make a decision on making a good dog and making sure that if you get a good dog, that you are finding the correct trainer for you and your dog. Partake. There's a lot of those programs out there. They're all available to provide you with some sort of certification, but there's real certifications and go the whole way. If you're going to partake, just go to one of the big organizations, get one of the full certifications, and people will recognize it. Not all of them are recognized by each other. Like the big organizations, they want you to work with the big organizations. So, keep that in mind. But yeah, get certified. If you're going to own one of these dogs, know that you're trained as well as it is, because that dog is now could be your hero. It could be your family's hero. It could save a veteran. What an awesome thing. I mean, even our producer here, like she has her dog, and I mean, it provides the necessity that she needs in tough situations, and we all need that. We all need to just have something that helps us. Anything that helps us. In some cases, it's a dog. So the costs are high, but it's priceless if it can save your life.
I wanted to add real quick that there are a lot of scams out there when it comes to service dogs. There's a lot of them. So I always recommend going to the ADA website to find out, because they will outline, at least in the US, the laws of the US, because there is no database or ID required for a service dog. And that is something that they cannot ask you for at a store because there
Yeah.
is none required. But there's places that will say, oh, you can get your PTSD letter. Just, call this number or pay $59 and you'll get your certificate and the ID. But it's actually, it's not a legitimate identification. Even if you can use it and it has a picture of the dog on there or whatever the animal is, it doesn't make them a service dog.
Yeah.
You actually have to go through a medical professional to get that animal as a service dog. It's actually like a prescription. And then the states all have their own laws, but the federal law trumps all the state laws.
Yeah,
so it can get really complicated. I did go over all of the laws on one of the episodes that I did. If you want to do one together.
Yeah, we can definitely cover it again sometime, because I mean it's definitely great information to have, because I mean these dogs I
just don't want anyone
I just covered the basics of it right now, but I took a little over an hour to talk the basics of it, but man,
I just don't want anyone to go and pay for somebody to tell them that they now have a service dog or a service animal because they paid like $99 and they got an ID and they got the vest. Because that's actually really harmful to people that have service animals. Is the people going and getting the vest and then just throwing it on their animal and saying, oh yeah, it's a service animal. And because you can only ask me 2 questions, you can only ask me by law in any kind of you're allowed to go wherever with a service animal, wherever publicly if you're allowed to go there, like to a restaurant, then you can go and sit there with your service animal, because it's just a living medical device is what it is. And so like people will discriminate and everything else. And so they're only allowed to ask you 2 questions though. One of them is that a service animal? And you have to answer them either yes or no, obviously. And then what service do they perform? They don't have to perform the service. They don't have to show them anything. It is by those 2 questions are the only ones that they can ask you.
The first one makes sense. That second one, I'd be like, none of your damn business.
Yeah, it seems like it opened up a Pandora's.
Yeah, like why do you have to know? Like, hey, are you my doctor? Are you gonna help him if something happens, motherfucker? You can go play.
I think it's because I don't know, but they can't deny you. If you say yes, it's a service animal and whatever, then they can't deny you. They don't have to wear any kind of tag or a special vest to go into a store. Like Leo has one, and he has a tag that's on his collar too, that says service dog, so that it's there. But that's because I like him to have that identification. He doesn't have to have that at all. So
it helps. I've seen it help in situations like that where people are like, look, he got the tag. Yeah, like you want to look up the number? What are you gonna do?
But that's the thing, is that there isn't an official registry number like that. That's a fake. That's a fake thing. And that's what is happening, is that people are misrepresenting and they're just using the very loose laws. It's like, to me, if I can have a handicap tag in my van to prove that I have a disability that I can park in that spot, then why shouldn't I have a card that goes with my service animal so people cannot discriminate against me and tell me
that's like I wear a tag on my neck to say that I'm sick, and so why can't my dog have one on him that says I'm here because he's sick? Like, seems like that would just make the most sense.
I mean, and like Leo he's gone into federal buildings with me. He's gone into the jail with me to visit somebody. He's gone in numerous hospitals and like elderly care facilities. Like, he's been in the hospital in the specialized unit with me, because I had a friend who was ill, and it was like the super infectious disease, like, where you have to wear a complete suit to go into that room to see that person. They said it's up to you. We cannot deny you access to bring him in there with you, but they said, just so you know, we don't know what she has. You might not, it's up to you though. Like, they can't deny me. Even if I was in the hospital myself, my service animal Leo would be able to be with me
Yeah.
The only requirement would be that I have to have somebody that can take him out to take him out to use the bathroom and stuff. And that's the only thing. Like they can't, it's just like if I had a walking cane. They are a medical device. It's the same thing. They're just a living one.
It's a good point. That's an excellent point. And I'm glad you punched that one down, because I mean, it really is. Don't
Maybe
be.
we need to write a joint letter to our Congress or something.
Yeah, right.
Like saying that we need something else in place for people with medical service dogs.
Yeah, this is a very easily solved dilemma. Stop letting these nobodies screw with people and steal money.
I mean, obviously, look at it. I mean, if I have the service dog, then you know that if I'm presenting with a service animal, then obviously I have a reason that I have a service animal. And it's like, so if I have to get a tag for the DMV to prove that I have a disability, then obviously I'm exposed. You know what I mean? When you have the disability, if you have a cane, people are going to see that you have a reason to have that cane.
Yeah.
Like it's the same type of thing, so I think that it would be good to try to lobby and try to see if we could get some kind of, even if it doesn't, there should be something that's a really basic thing that people
I
can
bet the ADA has something already that we could probably just jump onto and coattail and really just start pushing if we really wanted to. Because I mean, that sounds like something that I've seen.
An easily solvable situation.
Yeah, but like most things, when common sense is supposed to come into play, everybody pretends that it's not a real thing.
We're starting the conversation right now.
That's it. We're starting the conversation. I mean, heck, that's how everything starts. You just gotta talk about it. You gotta bring it up. You gotta make it available for people to hear and see. So
it's just always been ridiculous to me, because people face so much discrimination, and you have to take people by their word, and it causes so many issues, and it causes discrimination. It's not protecting the people.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you have a service animal, then there's a reason why you have a service animal. There is some kind of disability or something. So you're not protecting somebody's privacy by saying that they don't have to have an ID for a service animal. That's an obvious reason why they have the service animal. It doesn't make sense,
It's pretty absurd.
I mean, they're able to send out tags for rabies shots.
Yeah.
I have to spend $10 every year for each one of the cats, the dogs, and anything else that's out in the public, and make sure that they have a rabies vaccination.
Yeah.
So why would it be any different to have a tag on your dog's neck that says it's registered through the ADA?
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
It doesn't make sense that they don't have something, but maybe we can lobby and get that.
Yeah, not out of the question. We all seem to be pretty good at putting up a stink, so
we can cause it.
we like bringing stuff to attention, all of us, and even the crew that comes and hangs out, the Bretonians. Everybody seems to have a really good. Everybody seems to have a little bit like a topic that they're really, really well versed in, and I hear people say some awesome stuff in your chat sometimes, like. I really do. And some of these people I see in other chats too. Like I see a lot of the same people in the morning news show that I watch. And gosh, it's like I learn so much from the people that are around me that it's just it's always best to keep your ears open. Everybody's an egg of information. Just got to crack them open.
Thanks for sharing, Lucky.
Yeah, that was really very good. That's good. A good thing to hammer down for sure. So, well, I guess I'll.
15 minutes over.
Yeah, I'm now officially over at this point. So, yeah, thank you everybody who comes and watches. I hope I provided some information to people tonight that can be beneficial for maybe not you, but if you can pass it along and know somebody who could really use this information. I mean, it's just the VA part there where we just talked about a quick rundown of how to navigate through that VA page. Man, people spend a lot of time just trying to navigate that page. It's a lot. There's a lot
of information on that.
I mean, there's so much. It's just it's daunting.
It was an easy find.
That's it. And so I'm so glad that we had somebody come on and walk us through it a little bit. So what do you know? You're not alone. I'm right here, and I'll be here again next week. And I'm very glad that I got this opportunity, because this is now week 11. This was a brainchild a couple months back, just a thought in my head that I brought to a couple of people that seem to care about the rest of the world like I did. So, you know, we're all trying to make changes and make the world a better place and find ways to counteract, coincide with each other on a daily basis, you know, being that none of us we're all different people and we all have different needs. And I hope that what I provided tonight will help some people with their needs. And
don't forget, Lucky show's on at 9,
yep.
not 8:30. I was wrong.
Yeah, it is. I was gonna say
Yeah,
she's usually at 9. I think that was just last week because of, or the other week because the guest was come because of when the guest wanted to come.
She's on at 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Yep. So 8:15. So about 45 minutes from now, Lucky Show will come on. Make sure you guys go over and check it out. Check out the Lucky Burrito Indie channel. Steve and I got the Glitchy Farm stuff. We've got a bunch of new stuff, so we're probably going to create another, compile everything, put a new little album out, and see if we can't get some more sales on those. Yeah, make sure to come on Saturdays to Steve's open mic and you know, support. We, you know, we're a fun time. This is we try to pass out good information. Anything you support to me, I donate a part of it to the Epilepsy Foundation every single time. You know, I'm not really in this for the money. This is really anytime I can support other epilepsy organizations. I've been in contact with the NC Epilepsy Alliance, Epilepsy Foundation of America, my epilepsy team. I've been building my epilepsy team, and I mean, I've got a couple doctors now that I talk to on there, and they know all kinds of stuff that I don't know. They got answers to things I didn't know they would know, but they're just people. They're just other human beings, and so I'm glad to know that I'm not alone, because no one's alone. Yeah, you are not alone. So we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot. Have a good night.